It's Johnny Dare, Nycki Pace. Would you like to say
Sorry,
hi
I
to
didn't
Mr.
clean.
Gough?
Oh, I did. And I was like, I'm sorry. It's like tornadic activity over here. I've got a lot of papers I need to get out of your way.
She's a little.
I didn't get ready for company. Company was coming, and I didn't get ready. Get my business in order.
He's not coming. He's family.
I know he is.
He's all right.
I love the Foo Fighters shirt.
Thank you very much.
Nothing about my holiday in Cambodia. Nobody gets it.
What is that the reference to? What is
Dead Kennedys.
Dead Kennedys?
Yeah, nobody ever gets that. I find it wildly amusing. Nobody finds it. Nobody gets it.
My buddy DH was the drummer for Dead Kennedys.
I'm a huge Jello Biafra fan.
DH. I miss him.
Yeah, that's right. He's gone. That's right.
Yeah.
When
He died a few months ago. Sweet, sweet man. And then I watched this Foo Fighters documentary about it's like get in the van or
What drives us?
what drives us.
Yeah.
And I watched it like 2 weeks ago. There's a full 5-minute segment with DH where he talks about his drug addiction.
Oh.
And it was like I was with him in therapy again for the first time since I've seen him. And I felt like we were having like a meeting together. It was it was so emotional for me to see that.
Was he in recovery?
Yeah, he was in recovery. Yeah.
Man. Hey, by the way, let's give Craig a proper introduction.
Hey, everybody.
Born February 15th in Mount Vernon, New York, he launched his stand-up career in 1993, quickly making a name for himself for his dad on impressions of Adam Sandler, Sam Kinison, Christopher Walken, Gene Simmons, and more. He's appeared on such shows as Sex and the City and The King of Queens, as well as being a frequent contributor on The Howard Stern Show. You can keep up with him through his website, getgas.com. And this weekend, you can see him live on stage in the Gospel Lounge at Knuckleheads. Please welcome comedian and longtime friend of the show, Craig Gass.
Now you're in.
Yeah. I just posted a picture of me. It's not my 18th birthday, but a picture on my Instagram that I love when I post pictures like this and people will make comments and go, who's the Axl Rose looking guy next to you?
Oh, yeah, because you had some beautiful hair. You had some long, luscious hair.
Yeah, if you go to at Craig Gass Comedy, 2 S's, you'll see a picture. You know what? I have another one where you can see the cocaine on the table.
Is that right?
Oh, you know what? It was actually meth.
Oh.
It was actually, which we didn't know at the time. Like some guy knocked on my door and said, "Hey man, can I come in?" I go, "Nah, man." And he goes, I got some stuff." And I was like, "Oh yeah, come on in." And we chopped it up and we started to snort it. And we were like, "Ah, man, all right, we'll keep going."
That happened to me in L.A. when I first moved there. I was dating a girl in the Valley named Lori Kay, and she worked at Club Hollywood right on the boulevard that was there across from where Mans is now. And she would serve us underage beer. And she took me home one night, and then we became friends.
Yep.
And then she was having a party at her house. Her mom was a traveling like lounge singer. And so I go up there, and her mom had a piano there. So I remember it wasn't a great big house, but it was nice enough. And they were snorting lines and offered me one, except for it was smack. Except for it was heroin. Yeah.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know, but
Did you get sick?
That was my next thing. Bleh, right out. And I'm like, what in the goddamn is that business?
Yeah.
And it's weird because years later, you see that Dirt movie where it happens between Nycki and Vince. And I was like,
Yeah.
Mine didn't happen as fast as that. Mine, like in the movie, he's like, but mine was probably a 2-minute in between, a little bit of an internal struggle and then blur.
Yeah, I did that once, and it was a few hours later, and then I was nauseous for the next 24 hours.
Yeah,
that was
terrible.
Really,
no,
really
it F's your stomach up completely.
Yeah.
It's absolutely miserable.
Yeah.
And then I went home.
Knuckleheads, everybody. Comedy show at Knuckleheads. Getgas.com. Get some heroin.
The thing I remember about that girl is this is the most LA thing I can explain to anybody. I really liked her. Beautiful redhead girl. Had this little pink mini truck. Her license plate said boing on it. And I just remember all of these things. And she would come down to where I lived in Hollywood, and we would visit and hang. And then she came down with her friend one time, and we were walking down the apartment, down the road, Yucca Street, over towards Highland. And her friend turned to me, and then I understood why her friend was there, because she was there to do the dirty work.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Lori can't see you anymore."
Oh.
And I was like, I go, "Well, why?" You know, like that. She goes, "You don't have a car. You don't have any money. You can't pay for anything." And they just got in the car and drove away.
That triggers me.
I was like,
Just left your ass. It
As
probably
someone
does.
that has been rejected many times. Oh, my God. That
I was just like,
I can remember being at skate country. Yeah, this is terrible. This is going all the way back. Skate country. It's couple skate.
Right.
They're playing Reunited by Peaches and Herb.
it feels so good.
And I was certain that a very attractive girl was smiling at me at skate country that afternoon. And I skated over and she's with her girlfriends and I go, "Hey, you want a couple skate?" And she goes, "F no." Oh my God. And all her friends started laughing. Here's the thing. Not only did I have to just turn around and get away, I had to skate away, and I was a terrible skater.
You had to shuffle skate back.
And you do that dejected one where you kind of over-exaggerate your legs.
Dude, that sucked. I remember in high school when I was a freshman.
Oh, man.
One of the hottest seniors would give me rides home every day instead of letting me get on the bus. And I would make her laugh she'd be like, "God, Craig, you're so funny." And I would make her laugh. And then I loved it. I loved how beautiful she looked.
Sure.
When she was laughing.
Of course.
And I just felt like this chemistry between us. And then I remember she dropped me off once and we just sat in the car we would always just sit there and just talk and laugh for another 30, 60 minutes.
You thought.
And she goes, "God, Craig, I love you so much." And I leaned over and I went to kiss her. And she went, "What are you doing?" And I went, I thought you liked me. And she goes, "Not like that." And she stopped giving me rides. And I had to, and then getting back on the bus, like, "I thought you had the hot chick." And I was like, yeah. And then, how do you explain, I'm 14 years old and like, yeah, that was kind of a bummer. But,
Dude, I'm so terrible with rejection. I don't ask girls out.
It makes me, a girl has to be completely naked.
Yeah.
On my lap before I'll go, "You know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna try this. I'm going for it."
So, is this what you like?
Do you mind if I kiss you? Like that. I have to be 100% certain that it's gonna happen.
That's why I'm so happy with nude photos. I feel like that's the first okay you get. You're like, okay, so this seems like you like me. I think you might like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because before you just had to, like, you're just like,
Yeah.
Or you make the lean and you're like,
it's the worst.
It really is.
I could be
man.
alone for the rest of my life just because of that stuff. Because my fear of rejection's it far outweighs any horniness I feel.
By the way, last night after I left you guys, I went to the Nickelback. Everybody's in town. They've been in town since yesterday. I went to go hang out with some friends, and my buddy was like, "Dude, tell him the story about this." And I was like, "Oh, man, I should make a note of this. I'm going to do this on the air with Johnny tomorrow." Because I know you know about all the Kiss stories and the...
Well, but to the listeners...
Well, so I do an impression of Gene Simmons that bothered him so much that he got on a plane and flew to New York to confront me live on the air.
On Stern.
The Howard Stern show. And it started out where every time we had a music guest in the studio, I would constantly interrupt the music guest as Gene Simmons and try to sell them crappy Kiss products. And it was just, and it got to a point. I remember Dee Snider, who I was working with before I worked with Howard.
In Rochester?
No, Dee Snider was doing morning radio in Hartford.
Hartford, that's where it was. Sorry, in Hartford. Yes.
And Dee Snider played me, he sent me some audio of an interview he did with Gene Simmons. And he goes, "Hey, so a friend of mine named Craig Gass does an impression of you. And so how do you feel about the impression?" And I heard Gene for the first time say my name. And he said, "You know, this guy, Craig Gass, I heard him doing now they have Suzanne Summers in the studio talking about how she beat cancer. Okay. Suzanne Summers is a neighbor of mine. And Suzanne Summers is on the air talking about this serious moment, how she beat cancer. This is where you say, okay, no more jokes. She tells her incredible story about how she overcame the disease. And then I hear this guy, Craig Gass, say, 'Hi, Suzanne, it's Gene Simmons. I'm so touched by your story, I want to give you a Kiss lunch pail for only $5. And he said, but That night, I get a phone call from Suzanne Summers saying, "You son of a bitch, why did you do that to me?" And I said, "It wasn't me," and she didn't believe me.
Oh, my God. So good.
And over the years, it starts getting to a point where Gene Simmons starts acknowledging me, and I have to go on the air. Like, he starts saying, he put out a press release once saying, "I just want to say for the record, I was not on the air making jokes."
You're really under
about
the skin.
Yeah, because I think what I said that time was, I said, it was a joke about cancer. I said, here's, you want to hear, I was doing a radio interview, and someone's asking me questions. You ask me a question, if I stay in character, which is my favorite thing to do with you.
Right.
I have to pull an answer out of my ass.
Of course.
And that's where I get the best moments.
Sure.
And whoever I was talking to said, was talking about something about cancer, and I said, "You want to hear something crazy? Kiss." And this is, not many people know this. We invented cancer. And here's the crazy thing. Nobody knows this. We have a cure, but it'll cost you. Go to kissonline.com. And Gene put out a statement saying, "That wasn't me making jokes." And I read the statement on the air, and I said, "That wasn't me. It was a comedian named Craig Gass, who's performing this Friday through Sunday at Knuckleheads in Kansas City." Go to getgas.com. Getgas with 2 S's.com. Yeah. Over the years, I start hearing from people who work for KISS, and they go, "Hey, man, I got a story for you. For you. Maybe you can use it on stage." And the stories are horrifying. One of my favorites, and I know you know this story, but for your audience, was a guy who was recording an album. He called me up. He was recording an album with the Chili Peppers, and he said, "The guy who owns the studio is a big fan of yours. Can I put him on the phone?" And I go, "Of course." This guy gets on the phone, and he goes, "Hey, man, I love your impressions, especially your Gene Simmons, because Gene was the first guy to ever screw me over in this business. Gene came into my studio years ago to produce an album for this new artist. And at the last minute, he wanted to switch into my largest facility for the same amount of money. He wanted to switch. And when he showed up, he said, "Did you get my message? I want to use Studio A." And I said, "I did. I actually called you back. I don't know if you got my message, but someone is using Studio A." And I asked them if they would switch, and they said no. And Gene goes, "Do they know that Gene Simmons from KISS is here?" And he goes, "You know what? If you want to ask him, you can ask him. I'm not going to ask him again." And he goes, "All right, where's Studio A?" And he goes, "It's all the way down the hallway. It's the last door on the right." Gene Simmons goes walking down the hall, opens up the door, and looks inside Studio A and sees the Wu-Tang Clan recording an album. And then he closes the door, comes back up to the front, and goes, "Right, where's Studio B?" And he never even opened his mouth to the Wu-Tang Clan. Even better than that is Gene Simmons' love advice. Do you remember the love advice I told you that he gave?
Yes. She's not heard it.
Gene Simmons,
Yes.
a friend of mine who worked for KISS, said years ago while we were on tour, before Gene Simmons got married, Gene Simmons hooked up with Miss America. It was the reigning Miss America of that year, and Gene Simmons hooked up with her. The next night, Gene hooked up with a whore. A girl that was such a mess that even the guys in the road crew were like, "Jesus Christ."
He was legendarily indiscriminate.
Just didn't care.
Yeah.
The next night, they have a day off in a town that is so small that the band and the crew are staying in the same hotel. Usually the band stays at a 5-star and the crew stays, Hampton Inn, decent hotel,
Yeah.
And, but they're all staying at the same hotel. And the guy says he turns around, he's sitting in the bar, and he just happens to turn around as Gene Simmons is walking through the lobby, and he's dragging this enormous girl with him through the lobby, gets in the elevator, pushes the button to his floor, and then looks at the crew guy through the lobby and folds his arms and goes, "Oh yeah, bing!" And then the doors close. And he said the next day at soundcheck, he walked up to him and said, "Gene, did you hook up with that girl last night?" And he goes, "Of course." And he goes, "Gene, didn't you hook up with Miss America that night?" He goes, Steve, listen to me, okay? You can't have filet mignon every night. Sometimes You got to go to McDonald's. It's the worst advice any man can give another man.
It's so bad. And when he first said the love advice, it took me a second to realize what you were talking about. Because I'm like, that's not love advice, for God's sake.
Yeah, that was his love
called
advice.
Overeating is what that's called. That's overeating.
Yeah, there's so many amazing. You've talked to him.
Oh, Gene. Well, Gene tried to bang my girlfriend.
Really?
Oh, dude, I've told you this story, haven't I? When
It was at a show.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Gene. So I just started dating Sassy Von Fancy Pants. She'd never seen Kiss, never been on the front row. So I take her to a Kiss show, right? This is going to be fun. And we get up there, and of course I'm going to go grab drinks. So I leave. This is before the show starts. I go up to the concert, the little area, and I get the drinks, and I'm coming back down the stairs, and I see clearly, it's clearly a road guy in front of her. And then I realize it's definitely a stage tour manager. And he's talking to her over the barricade, and she's got a weird look on her face, and he's got a weird look on his face.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, hi, what's going on?
I'm the guy.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, no, tell me now. And he's cool, and he leaves. He just says, okay, and he walks away, and I go, whoa, what's going on?
How early in this relationship is this?
Oh, this is in the first year.
Wow.
And so it's so great because we were so early in the relationship, we weren't telling anybody we were seeing, because it was, you know what I mean? Like it's like you don't tell anybody you're pregnant until you're past the 3 months. You're
right.
like, are we seeing each other?
Right.
We're gonna stay. Like, is this gonna really work out? And so the guy'd come out and said, "Hey, is that your boyfriend?" And we had specifically had this discussion not very weeks before. She said, "No, it's not." And so he said, then Gene would like you to accompany him back to the hotel this evening.
Oh, my God.
And then
Talk about to the point.
And so, it's super direct. But
It's not even he wants to hang, like, hey, he wants to meet you tonight. He wants you to accompany him to the hotel.
So-
Any girl who accepts that is accepting,
so, right, of course.
just jam it.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is great. And I'm like, I can tell she's like wondering if I'm going to be upset. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, I was like, this is crazy. And so I'm looking, I go, what'd you tell him? What'd you say? And she explains the whole thing. And I go, I'm making jokes. I'm like, if you go, can I get a boot? like, just bring me something. But so this has happened now, but she's really young and she's never experienced anything. And remember, she's never been in the front row. She's never been to a Kiss show and certainly never had a tour manager come out and go, Gene would like you to accompany him back to the hotel this evening. So,
and by the way, she probably thought she was being tested since you guys had the discussion of if anybody
maybe,
asked
right?
you together.
She's like, I don't know how weird he's going to get.
No.
So this goes down, and so as it's happening, the show starts, and Gene now has gotten the word from the tour manager that I'm not the boyfriend, and she's been asked. And I mean, he's bringing Paul Stanley over, and she's looking at me like.
During the concert.
Oh, dude, the whole time. He's like, I'm going to. You. I mean, he's beating his chest like this, and I'm like, I'm like, oh, thank you so much for being so pretty. And I'm just taking pictures of myself like this, and he's bringing Paul Stanley over, and they're pointing at her and looking, and I mean, he's mouthing some filthy stuff to her. I mean, very clearly like this. And it goes on the whole show. I mean, I'm laughing. It's just the greatest night. And she relaxes finally. And I'm like, because I tell her, I go, listen, this is funny. I go, this is a great, weird moment.
Yeah.
Then, you want to beat traffic. So we split right before the encore. And I just remember driving home going, no one's ever going to buy that. I'll never be able to illustrate this properly ever. And like I said, we weren't telling anybody. I had one good friend, Big Eric, who knew we were seeing each other. And so he calls me like a week later and he goes, hey, did you see the local rock magazine, Pitch magazine? Like every city's got one. And I go, no. He goes, oh, you haven't? And I go, no. He goes, you should read the Kiss review. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So I drive immediately over where they've got one of those little machines and I pull it out. It's a free newspaper. And it's the Kiss review. And the guy, I didn't know, there was a writer in the second row right behind me. He saw all of it. So there's a paragraph. I'll have to see if I can find it online again. It talks about in the Lord of Darkness, whatever, he noticed the extreme youth and beauty of Johnny Dare's date. and proceeded to mouth dirty words, pound his chest, and like he saw the entire thing. So on our first,
How cool is that
Amazing.
It's documented?
On our first anniversary, I had that review framed and gave it to her.
That's literally when I told Johnny I was coming into town. I said, "Do you want to come? You want to join me to hang out with Chappelle?"
Yeah.
He said, "Dude, thanks for inviting me." And my response to you was, "I always want to witness.
Yes,
I always want to witness because
Yes.
nobody will believe the stuff that's happening."
That's exactly. I have to see if I can find this now. Because you will laugh out loud because it literally describes it better than I can.
So last night, my buddy who he was the guitar tech for Jerry Cantrell when I opened for Alice in Chains years ago. I did a tour doing stand-up opening for Alice in Chains, and this guy was the guitar tech for Jerry. Now he's teching for Chad at the not Chad, the guitar player for Nickelback. And so he's telling me like, tell him the story about this. And he had a group of guys who all have worked for Kiss that couldn't believe the Kiss Cruise story that I told them. That I find out through McGee Entertainment. After Gene Simmons confronted me live on the air,
Right.
I get a phone call the next day from McGee Entertainment from somebody who said, "Hey, I just want to let you know that our singer, Paul Stanley, loves you." And I said, "You're kidding. He knows who I am." And the word was, "Don't tell anybody, but Paul Stanley loves when anybody makes fun of Gene Simmons." I was like, "Get the hell, are you serious?" And he said, "Yeah, in fact, Paul's going to call you.
That's so great.
He's got an offer for you." And the offer was, "Do you want to perform on the Kiss Cruise?" And I go on the Kiss Cruise where I'm now friends with Kiss.
Can you just recreate the phone call for me?
"Hey, Craig, this is Paul Stanley." Dude, I didn't tell you what he said to me a couple months ago. We did a charity event together, and someone goes, "Hey, doesn't Craig do an impression of you?" And he goes, "It's awful." And I start doing it. I go, "Hey, everybody, this is Paul Stanley." And he goes, "You make me sound like I own a hair salon in Long Island." And I was like, what a great premise. The Paul Stanley hair salon.
Right.
Come
Welcome
on
to
in.
Star Child.
Sit down. I'm going to give you a blowout. Here, come on in. So Paul Stanley gets me the gig to perform with Kiss on the Kiss Cruise. I get on the boat, excited that I know Kiss. I genuinely know Kiss as I get on the boat. I'm friends with Kiss. I'm friends with their management. I'm friends with their crew. And then I did something on the Kiss Cruise that pissed off the fans, the Kiss Army, to where the Kiss Army hates me more than Gene Simmons ever did.
Second only to the Neil Peart fan club, like in terms of twattery.
Well, you have to understand what I did. I met a girl on the cruise who was the cruise director. She's upbeat. She's peppy. She's the Julie McCoy.
I was like, Julie?
She's the Julie McCoy
Julie?
of the Kiss Cruise. Google it. And she goes, "Hey, are you Craig? You're the guy who does all the voices and the... Do you want to do a funny announcement on the ship tomorrow morning?" And I went, "Oh, God, yes." Like, let me ask you a question. Who's going to hear the announcement? If I make an announcement, who hears it? And she goes, "Well, if you want, we can flip a switch and it'll get piped into every cabin." And I said, "Flip that switch." I know exactly what I want everyone to wake up to tomorrow morning. Oh. And the next morning, 3,000 of the biggest Kiss fans in the world, from around the world, at sea, woke up to...
"Hey, everybody, this is Paul Stanley, and this is Gene Simmons from Kiss, and we have a very important announcement. Do not panic, but we have a very important announcement about the Kiss Cruise."
At that moment, I have friends who are walking around the ship, and they said that everybody stopped in their tracks and were looking up at the speakers and smiling until the very next words that came out of my mouth.
"We've just hit an iceberg."
Now, when I said we've just hit an iceberg, we're in the middle of the frickin' Bahamas. When I said we just hit an iceberg, there's no reason for you as an intelligent person to go, "The ship's going down! The ship's going down! We're in the Bahamas!"
But do not panic, because Kiss is going to take care of everybody. We actually have 3 packages to get you off the ship. First, we have the Platinum Package, $5,000, where we'll put you in a life raft and you'll have your own private photo taken with Kiss. Then we have the Diamond Package. Isn't that right, Paul?
That's right, the Diamond Package.
For $10,000, we'll throw you in the ocean with Tommy and Eric, and then Kiss will float by on a raft and do a private...
everything I said was stupid, but apparently 2 or 3 of the passengers actually got upset and ran to the employees and said, "Is Kiss really going to charge us to get off the boat?" And they believed it. And the Kiss fans were livid.
If Gene is around, Gene, this is the article that was written in the Pitch magazine about when you tried to bang my girlfriend that night. It actually was just handed to me.
Hi, everybody. This is Gene Simmons from Kiss.
By the way, I just want to point out the reason why I say that. It's an inside joke that when he confronted me on the Howard Stern show, that day I was headlining Caroline's for the first time in my life, which was a big deal.
Of course, it's Caroline's legendary.
Caroline's a legendary comedy club, and it's like I'm a real comedian. I'm performing in Times Square. Somebody gave Gene Simmons my phone number, and I still have the voicemail. It was a short boop.
Hi, Craig. This is Gene Simmons from Kiss.
He actually said from Kiss on my voicemail.
That's the best.
Like, I'm going to confuse you with Gene Simmons from Pet Boys. And he goes,
And I just want you to know that I know you're headlining Caroline's for the first time. I know this is a big deal. I want you to know the Kiss Army is behind you, and I support you. That's why I'm going to be in the front row. And I'm going to beat. And I was like, what? And he showed up, brought a bunch of women with him, and he sat in the front row.
He really showed up?
And when he showed up, I have video of it. I'm on stage, and then I start like, well, hey, so I don't know if you guys are listening on the air this morning, but I had a confrontation with a guy who I'm a huge fan of, and I start doing jokes about Gene. And Gene leaned back and started looking around the room going, that's me. Isn't that something? And then, by the way, that night, he took me to a strip club.
That's great.
And he let me bring my friends. I had 2, as soon as it was Jade Barrymore, Drew Barrymore's mom,
sure.
walks into my dressing room and she goes, hey, Gene would like to invite you to a strip club tonight. And I was like, and my 2 friends were like, Doop. I go, is it okay if I bring 2 friends? And she goes, any friend of yours is a friend of Gene's.
Witnesses.
So we go to the strip club where we end up on a couch where Gene Simmons is covered in strippers. To be with a real rock star in a strip club,
I can't imagine.
it's fascinating to watch.
Yeah.
And he has liver spots. Like, it's weird. It's
yeah.
weird to see, but it's like he has a magic power. Like, even though he looks like this, he's still Gene Simmons, and women are
They don't care.
and he's literally got 10 strippers on him, around him, and me and my buddies are at the other end of the couch going, yay! We're cheering him on.
Did he even like do that thing where you're like, you point to one, it's like, come on,
Yeah.
like,
So
he tosses you one. Like,
he sees me going, go Gene, and
Yeah.
he goes, hold on, and he looks at all the girls and he goes,
Ladies, let me ask you a question. Do you like stand-up comedy? You do. Great. Because this gentleman right here is the gentleman who does the impression of me. Isn't that something?
and all the strippers looked at me and I go, what's going on? And they all went, nothing. And I went, all right. That's about right. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Dude, gooning yourself is one of my best traits. Like, I know exactly when you and you just think about it for the rest of your life going, I could have said anything. I could have said anything at that moment, but I didn't.
And I threw it out there as, what's going on?
Sup?
I remember when I used to work, I wanted to work in the music business so badly. I made so many friends in the music business.
Yep.
And we ended up, we did a tour where we were in our van. We got all the band gear and we pull up and this beautiful girl pulls up next to us. And one of the guys in our van rolls down the window and he honks and he goes, hey. And she rolls down her window and he goes, got a name? And she goes, and she just drove off. And for years, we all went, got a name?
Yeah.
Got a name? No, I go by a sign on the chart of elements. Got a name? Like, you moron.
Hey, listen, you're a big sports guy. Let me before we lose Mr. Gough, because he
got
has
kids.
He does. He tossed his life away and found love and children. So, did you see? Where's the photograph that we just had? He was showing me all this stuff.
Jake has it on his phone.
Chubb, did you see what happened to his leg yesterday?
He just showed it to me. I heard about the injury. I didn't see it.
Sports in your shorts.
Brought to you by our friends at Worth Harley-Davidson. Bike Night happens every Thursday night at the Twisted Rib Event Center at Worth Harley-Davidson. Get out there. The live music, the ice-cold beer, the killer barbecue. Bike Night kicks off at 6 every Thursday at Worth Harley-Davidson, I-29, south of the airport. Mr. Gough, Mr. Gas.
Hey, Mr. Gas, how are you? I'm a huge fan of your work, but also definitely Kinnison, because I've told the story on here before that I made the pilgrimage to Tulsa to find his headstone because I was just randomly down there because his mom died down there, so he's buried down there. But huge fan of that.
Oh, yeah, Kinnison. I've seen the headstone, too. I was at a comedy club near, I guess it was within a few miles of his headstone. I went to go see it, too.
That's weird.
Did you get any free cocaine while you were there?
So good. It is so good.
Yeah.
Johnny, I miss the days where they would replay a horrific injury over and over and over.
Right.
Oh, my God, look at it.
They don't do that anymore.
Look at it!
You just have a picture of it though, Johnny, right?
No, I saw the video from last night. The picture I saw was from his college one where it did the same thing.
Yeah, he did it in Georgia too. Same leg. I mean, it has been ripped in half twice now. So I mean, this Napoleon Kaufman, Joe Theismann. There's been some great ones through the years, and back in the day before this, political correctness. Now, we used to be able to watch this over and over, like very slow motion to see everything break right when it happened. But now they just take a shot from the sky. And yesterday, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman were like, we cannot re-show this anymore. It's brutal. And it was. Jake, I don't know how Jake's son got a picture of the still image from last night, because the video I saw was from like up above. But it is horrible.
The internet always finds a way.
It's true. Well, good morning. I'm Chris Gough with Sports News Shorts for Tuesday, September 19th. We've been talking about how Patrick Mahomes keeps getting passed by other NFL quarterbacks in terms of their yearly salaries. But yesterday, the Chiefs restructured Mahomes' deal, giving him $210.6 million between 2023 and 2026. That's the most money in NFL history over a 4-season span.
Wow. His
compensation for those years is now guaranteed. The Chiefs and Mahomes plan to revisit the agreement again after the 2026 season. Of course, he signed a huge deal, and no one signed a bigger deal overall than Patrick Mahomes did when he signed a $500 million deal with the Chiefs several years ago. But, it's sort of like if you've been watching the Winning Time series on HBO Max, it's like Magic Johnson got a $25 million deal for 25 years. So, and the problem with that is that you knew in 5 years in, he's going to be underpaid. And that's sort of what they're looking at with Mahomes here. But Mahomes is totally cool with it. I mean, as you know, he makes as much money on endorsements, probably way more than just his salary. But anyway, he became the highest paid player back in 2020 when he signed that almost $500 million deal. But he was 8th before yesterday, and his contract runs through 2031 now.
I have a question for you. Do you know what Johnny Dare did the other night when we saw Patrick Mahomes walking right past us at the backstage at the Dave Chappelle show? You hear that story?
I'm trying to guess what he would do in that situation. Johnny's a cool cat. He'd probably
not only was he a cool cat, Johnny was hosting backstage. Like, how you doing, buddy? Hey, good to see you, man. I don't know. My Johnny sounds like Springsteen. Hey, yeah, what's going on? Hey, Clarence, good to see you. All right. Yeah, all right. Yeah, hey, man, good to see you. And I go, Johnny, that's Patrick Mahomes. He goes, don't talk to him. Don't say hi. I can't say hi to him.
You know why, though? Because here's the thing. I believe in just you have to accept the position you put yourself in, which I put myself in. You remember the Brittany Holmes stuff. You know.
Hey, light that baby, light it! Light it!
Yeah.
Light that!
Yep.
Light it!
And nobody else has run that audio because and you're a sports guy. In Kansas City, if you screw around, like that'll be the end of your access to anything, right?
Sure.
So, and then we did, of course, the Brittany Holmes alarm, which was the follow-up to that.
Mornings are tough, and sometimes getting out of bed can be a struggle. You've tried everything to get motivated in the morning. Hot coffee, cold showers, exercise. Nothing really seems to help you shake that sleepy feeling. That's why we here at Derrico Labs have developed a new alarm designed to make your morning straight of spine and clear of mind. It's the Brittany Mahomes alarm. That's right. On those mornings when you need a little extra push to get out of bed, the Brittany Mahomes alarm is there to give you the shove that you need.
Light that baby, light that
I don't know what I'm supposed to be lighting, but I'm awake.
And that's not all. The Brittany Mahomes alarm is also good for warding off intruders.
All right, here we go. Let's see what's in this house.
What the hell is that?
Oh, hi, burglar. It's my new Brittany Mahomes alarm.
Oh, it's awful. I'm leaving.
Yeah, well, I'm coming with you because I don't know how to turn this off. You may have doubts on its effectiveness, but ponder this. That sound got a grown man with a badly sprained ankle to choose between staying home and listening to that or chance going to work and getting pummeled by 300-pound men.
Hey, light that baby, light it.
I pray for death every day.
Let's go.
The all-new Brittany Mahomes alarm from Dareco. Because nothing says,
Please kill me.
like Dareco.
Dude, Greg sent that to me 6 months ago at the Super Bowl, and if Greg doesn't win a Mark Twain Award,
I know.
I mean,
But he won't show up to accept it, though. I
No?
promise you. Yeah,
dude,
no.
he's got a body of work that is just incredible.
I'll tell you a story about Larry the Cable Guy. He did the first the Lord I Apologize record.
Yeah.
He wrote the Larry the Game the theme that Mark Tremonti recorded.
Yeah.
It took me 3 years to get him to take the money, and when he did take the money, because he was owed mechanical royalties because it went platinum.
Sure.
He never paid taxes, and then the IRS is still garnishing his wages. Worst thing I ever did to Greg. So if there's an award, he won't show up. I promise you. If there's money, he won't ask for it. Greg's got all the talent and none of the ambition. It's a perfect combination.
Wow.
So back to the story. What we've got is a problem here. I cannot walk up with any sense of self-worth at all and be like, hey, Patrick and Brittany, like you know what I mean? Like I know what I've done. I have put myself on the outside of that circle for all
I
time.
was going to start it by saying,
Yeah.
hey, Patrick,
Well, you said- you
because I
said-
had a viral moment with him a few
Yes,
months ago
but
at the Super Bowl.
Do you remember you said you want a picture?
Yeah.
I don't want to say, no, I don't want.
I go, I'll start. Hey, Patrick, I'm a comedian. We're backstage at a
Yes,
comedy show.
yes.
Hey, Patrick, I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
And that's usually a warm opening. And then I would go, hey, this is my buddy Johnny Dare.
See,
And it would be so great if I had done that and gone, oh, my God, what the hell just happened? I saw Patrick Mahomes try to punch my friend.
Oh, yeah. And then as you look at Kelsey, then you don't fight back. You're like, just do it. Just everybody do it. Yeah. Not to mention the fact I don't think he's going to need Kelsey to beat me up.
Oh my God,
You know
that
what I
would make
mean?
you the witness.
Yeah, I'm the witness. Always have a witness. Always have a witness. Patrick Mahomes.
Johnny, to be fair, I don't think that Brittany and Jackson have both, for whatever reason, toned it down recently.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have
Jackson seems to be gone. Like, I don't, you don't see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if it doesn't go well for him in a few weeks, he's going to be gone for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if Craig knows all about the Aspen the restaurants or whatever. But
That was a national story. It was
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah. That was a national story. Yeah, and I mean, it's mind blowing. Let's put it this way. Sometimes on a Sunday, you'll be on Twitter looking at jokes about the football games, and the name Jackson Mahomes will be trending. You'll be like, "What did he do, Dad?"
Right.
that's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No. Always. You're just like, God dang. But I've always one of those guys, like, I know what I do, and I go, okay, I accept it, because I do not have the ability to, like, have fun, and then if I know the other person's not going to do it, I can't walk up to you and be like, hey, isn't that funny? You know, like, I have to I'll push myself out.
But Patrick Mahomes has never done anything personally that's not perfect.
No.
Professional.
He's wonderful.
You know?
No.
Yeah.
We've never said a bad word about him.
Yeah.
Well, he
No,
also
he's-
has never released audio like that. If he does, I promise you, we're going to use it.
Well, over to baseball. The Royals facing Cleveland last night. They trailed 4-2 in the eighth, and they score 4 in the bottom of the eighth to go up 6-4 and never look back. So the Royals have won 5 of their last 6. Of course, it's all meaningless now. But they have 11 games left this season. They sit at 49 and 102. They're really trying hard, Johnny, to not become the worst team in franchise history. But they're going to have a positive record in these final 11 games.
I say blow every one of them. Never miss heaven by an inch. If you're going to suck, be the best at sucking. Go to the bottom. Invent new lows.
By the way, side note, huge baseball fan. Well, huge sports fan. I've been to every stadium around the country. Tried the hot dogs at every stadium. In my opinion, Kaufman has the best hot dogs. In my opinion. Now, I know they had health code violations,
I was going to say.
Maybe it was the rat poop that was delicious. I don't know. But that rat poop.
That could be the secret ingredient.
Rat poop in Kansas City is amazing.
Delicious. The mold?
Absolutely amazing.
The dank water is the best here. It is.
That's the weenie wash.
Oh, man. I love hot dogs, but man, you missed the best. So literally, I see Gaz, and we're by ourselves. We're just talking, and he goes, "Hey, did you ever become a sports fan?" Like
I was being sincere because when Johnny said that to me 10 years ago, I'm not into sports. I'm like, well, he's got to be now after the Royals and after Mahomes.
But he was like a father, an accepting father whose son has been like, "Hey, I love penis." Like, and then 10 years later, he's like, I couldn't help but notice she had a beautiful roommate. And I was just like, sorry, I guess I still like penis.
Well, Johnny's a civic pride guy, so he's a Kansas City lover, so he loves it for that reason.
Yeah,
of course. No, I'm a bandwagon guy. I'll watch a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If we get to the playoffs, I start to watch.
Yeah.
I'm a bandwagon everything.
And Mahomes, right from the jump, was magical in his first season.
You love him. Of course you do. Because people love him. He does stuff nobody's ever seen. Even I know that. But you do know that my girlfriend has to explain the game to me if it's on. There'll be moments, not obvious stuff. Like I understand downs and quarter. I understand the basics, but there's all the new weird rules and stuff. I was like, well, what just happened there? And she'll be like, the face she made.
I love that you can't even say what it was that happened.
Yeah,
you go, I'll go, what just happened? And she'll just go, like you're struggling with football terminology to even explain what it is.
This isn't a joke.
Wow. That's crazy.
Listen,
to me.
I think the best part is Johnny gets to put himself in these positions where, sports fans would just die, and he's there and he's like, he was at the other day, a couple years ago, he was at late night at the Fog at Allen Fieldhouse with the KU Jayhawks, and he's just like, this is cool, but other people would be dying for that, right? But it's funny.
Oh, I'm standing next to Bill Self. I'm with Rev Run and Daryl because Run DMC is performing at the late night at the Fog thing at KU at the basketball at the Fieldhouse. It's a huge deal. Yeah. And then I'm with them, so we're walking through. We're like the KU, the basketball players, are all there, and then there's Bill Self, the legendary coach. Yeah. And which by the way, another dude who zeroed right in on the girl I was with.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He's like,
Bill Self?
Oh, yeah. He's like, she's like, I'm from Lawrence. And he's like, oh, did you go to so-and-so high? And I was like, hey, whoa.
Whoa. That's amazing.
And then
he's a smooth charmer.
And then he looked at me and he's like I was the interloper, right? And I was like, and I tried to explain to him who I was, and he was like, like, I'll be with the black guys now. Yeah. The older guys,
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. I will say this about Johnny, that it's what makes it so interesting is that he's in a city where, and I'm saying this as a guy who travels all over everywhere and goes to sporting events. I like seeing events at every stadium, and I've been to almost every football stadium as well. And Chiefs fans, I have to say, have been a loyal group. They've been known for being a loyal group for years with a really crappy team. Yeah. So for this to happen, it's got to be so rewarding for that fan base for this to happen. And then I thought that would make that kind of energy would make Johnny flip and go.
You're a fan, but wouldn't I be a weirdo if all of a sudden I was just trying to start throwing out a bunch of terminology and I was really trying to buy into the whole thing? Wouldn't you? You'd all be like, you're a fraud.
I guarantee you.
This is great.
I guarantee you there are grandmas all over this city who now know football because of Patrick Mahomes. I guarantee
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Well,
I guarantee it.
My sponsor in the world is Trent Green, and Trent treats me like a real human. Okay. And we have wonderful conversations, but he literally will be like, John, we're talking, and he'll explain, and I realize he really likes me, and I know he does, but even he knows that I'm very challenged in this. Even Colquitt, the kicker. Yeah. I was just out with him at the Speedway, and he's like, "You want to wear the ring?" And I'm like, "Yeah, so I'm wearing a Super Bowl ring."
Whoa, those are heavy.
But even he knows. He's like, "Okay, all right, special needs. All right, make a wish, run along."
This year on Love on the Spectrum, we meet Johnny, who knows nothing about football.
It's true, man.
I appreciate that though, Johnny. You're not just a poser, because there's a lot of with the Chiefs and Royals both good, and Jayhawks, there's some Leawood housewives that I've met. They're like, I love the Chiefs more than anything. And I'm like, who's their running back? Who? What? Mahomes?
Listen, when you're a fan, when a team sucks, and then the team gets great, and it's harder to get in. That's frustrating. It's kind of like being into a band before anybody's into that band.
Jake does the same thing with his faith. He gets angry because at Christmas and Easter it's hard to get into his church, and he gets super pissed.
That's hilarious.
It's super pissed off.
I've been friends with Jesus this whole time.
I'm a real fan.
Good Lord, come on.
That is.
Yeah. And then he has a certain pew he sits in, and it's taken by some interloper.
Oh.
C&Es.
That is how the Royals were. The Royals were way worse. The Chiefs were always competitive for most years. They just never won anything like big. But the Royals were just lose 100 games every year. And then I definitely know several people that were season ticket holders the entire time. And as soon as they start getting good and the stadium is full, they are pissed. And it's just, and I get it. Like they where were all you? We were horrible.
Yeah,
but,
of course. And by the way,
weird
bandwagon people hate discussions about bandwagons.
See, not me, though. I admit it. I'm a bandwagon everything. I would like to have the sex without the long, drawn-out discussion beforehand. I would like to eat a steak and not kill or raise a cow.
I guess I'm a bandwagoner, too.
I'm a bandwagon everything. I wish I could literally be drunk without drinking. I think it'd be fantastic.
Well, I got a couple more stories here before I let you go. Over to golf. Superstar Phil Mickelson addressing the rumors that have followed him for years, coming clean about his gambling problem and opening up on his successful treatment. Mickelson dropped a statement on the matter Monday on social media saying, while millions of fans will be enjoying their fantasy football season and betting in moderation, he will not, and it's because his hobby turned into an obsession. The admission comes after popular gambler Billy Walters alleged Mickelson placed more than $1 billion in bets over 30 years, including wanting to place a $400,000 wager on the Ryder Cup in 2012 when he was a member of Team USA, but Mickelson denied ever betting on the competition. And finally, Johnny, this is the story of the week. A man who told police he had consumed several drugs, including LSD, was ticketed Sunday after he scaled a fence and fell naked into the pit at the construction site for the new Buffalo Bills stadium. The 29-year-old man, whose name was withheld, has been withheld. They won't put it out. It's hilarious. Was charged with misdemeanor trespassing, taken to Erie County Medical Center, and then transferred to Buffalo General after he suffered cuts, including one to his forehead. But apparently, Johnny, he was so high that they had gotten a call saying there's a guy near the construction site. He needs to get out of there. So what he had done is he was so high he went to a porta potty, dipped his hands into the poop, smeared it all over himself, and then when he saw the cops running towards him, he ran and fell into a 30-foot hole.
And this is a Bills fan?
Man.
Yeah, it's a Bills fan.
Dude, can somebody search this while I describe a Bills fan, the Bills Mafia, in the parking lot? They're known for throwing each other through tables, right?
Oh,
Tables.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a video of a guy standing on top of a VW van, and he's wearing a wrestling outfit, and he's got a Buffalo Bills flag as a cape, and he's standing on top of the van. There's a crowd of people going, jump, 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 jump. And he's like, you want me to jump? And then you pan out, and you see there's a table in front of the van, and he's going to jump onto the van, or onto the table. And everyone's, jump, jump. And he goes, all right. And he jumps off, and this guy is wildly out of shape. And he thinks keeping his legs straight when he jumps through the table is going to break the table straight down. With his legs being straight, that'll give it more force. And somehow he thinks he's probably going to land on his feet. But he jumps off, legs straight, and they both snap as he hits. And the crowd around him, it's like a basketball game going, and then they make the shot. Ooh. And everyone got really quiet. And the guy is sitting there with two broken legs when somebody emerges from the crowd, and you're like, oh, this guy's going to help him. And he just walks up with his camera phone and goes, and then walks away.
Yeah. Here, because I had to go through, by the way, this will be a huge surprise to you, multiple breaks. The other one breaks his neck.
Oh, wow.
So I've not seen this. Here is, here's this one. Let's see if this is it. I got this off dailymall.co. Is this look familiar?
I think that's it.
All right, let's see here. I don't know. Watch your dump button.
Advertisement?
Oh, come on. What did I just do? Oh, yeah.
This is,
I close it out.
If this is the same guy, it's one of the most fascinating I have to give it to Bills fans. If you're willing to break your legs and light yourself on fire, you are.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
You're more of a dedicated fan than anyone.
You got to run through. Here we go.
In the NFL.
You have to get
close that out.
All right. I hate this world I live in now.
Yeah, we got another commercial running here.
It
But
says bands flood Bengals. No, that's the charity thing. Okay, this is what Buffalo Bills fan severely broke his leg after jumping off a car into a folding table. And here we go.
Yeah, and this guy, he's not a guy who should be jumping through anything. He's wildly out of shape. Imagine loving your team so much that you're that short-sighted that you're going to spend the rest of your life.
No, man. We'll have to jump into this afterwards. Did you know the super fan that we had was robbing banks to go to Chiefs games?
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Chiefsaholic.
That was amazing.
Yeah, Chiefsaholic. Yeah, crazy bastard. And then the other guy, what was the other guy who had my face tattooed on his back of his head? That he
X Factor.
He was X Factor. He actually at one time had my face tattooed on the back of his head.
You got to watch out for those super fans. They are some of the weirdest people in the world because they think that they're famous.
There he goes.
Because they're recognized at the games.
He's up on top of it.
He's up on top, and everybody's cheering. Come on, do it, do it.
It's snowy. It looks like it's so cold outside.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, he loves the crowd, loves the attention. He's doing it. He's going to jump off, and he's gonna break this table. But his way of doing it is so not well thought.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad what happened.
It sounds like you can hear both legs snapping. Can you rewind that so you can hear the snap?
Oh, it's so bad. Let me see if I can. Yeah,
just to the snap.
All right, let's see here.
All right, here we go.
I love Bill's.
So can you get coverage from that when you go to the hospital?
Guys,
can
am I
you
right?
say I slipped on the
It's terrible.
ice.
So bad. Yeah.
Well, I've had several of my friends in pro wrestling, Johnny, get paid to go up there and take part in that ritual of breaking a table because, in wrestling, that's a normal thing. But, man, it is amazing what they do up there. We Chiefs have a lot of awesome tailgating traditions, but breaking legs and acting that stupid is not one of them, thankfully. So.
I can't believe that's not how I'm spending my weekends.
And Johnny's like, this is why I don't like sports.
I understand. Listen, by the way, why does my voice have to sound like that when I say I don't like sports?
Because I have to put some affectation to it because I'm not, it wouldn't mean as much if it was just me. But anyway, okay. Well, Johnny, that is Sports in Your Shorts for Tuesday. I am Chris Gough.